Welcome to NoobTube YouTube channel for day 282. This was the 8th of June 2023, a Thursday. I did exercise, I did Remote Wellness Academy, I did books, and I did insurance. And today I'd like to talk about what I've learned through coaching. So I'm going through a coaching certification program, a wellness coaching certification program with Remote Wellness Academy, and I've had life coaching with a gentleman by the name of Robert in Asia, and then I continue to coach with Jeffrey Combs, who's outstanding, from Golden Mastermind Seminars Incorporated, and I've had a lot of different coaching, and I'm also a coach currently with Zen Arbitrage. So I coach other people, but I've been a mentee, a person who's been coached, and now I am also coaching other people as well. I'm beginning to. So I will tell you what has been told to me, and this information is worth tens of thousands of dollars, and I hope I do it justice by explaining this correctly. Jeffrey Combs especially, his information, there are three components of letting go, and in order to be successful, you've got to let things go. You've got to let things in your past, the things that you've got going on that no longer serve you, the events and the feelings, and people have an addiction to these thoughts and feelings. People say, why would I be addicted to disappointment? Well, people are addicted to disappointment because that is a familiar feeling, and your mind is trying to keep you in that state of familiarity because doing something new would contradict your struggle. So in order to move beyond that and to there's also a very good book by Dr. Joe Dispenza called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. And, this is what we have to do. We have to get over our limitations and the things that we tell ourselves and make sure that, the things that we speak aloud, we don't be self-critical or self-judgmental. We speak words of power because Francis Stovall Shin says that, words do not return void. So if you speak something, you say, I'm not good at this, or this is not my personality, or this is not who I am. Well, you're absolutely right because you've spoken that into existence and your word is law. So you have to change your word choices. You must be committed to being a better and becoming a different person. So the three pillars of letting go are acceptance, forgiveness, and gratitude. So acceptance. Acceptance is being rigorously honest with your situation and being willing to say, hey, I'm going to take responsibility. Many things that happen to us are not our fault. I know that I had a rough childhood. Other people have had it even worse than I have. But I had a difficult childhood, difficult time growing up. Stumbled out of the gate a little bit when I became an adult, but I recovered. I joined the military, served 20 years in the military, and then went on to the State Department. But still been a bumpy road, and it hasn't been easy. But the failures that I've had, it could be very easy to say, well, I'm not responsible for them, or other people played a part, or other people are responsible for some of these things that happened to me. But I have to take responsibility. So a good lesson for this is that when I had encountered some really bad, my last assignment in the Foreign Service was really, really bad. And I had some bad coworkers, some bad situations going on. And what happened was that a lot of these bad situations occurred, and I was not prepared for these situations. I was not like when these things happened and I came back. I was medically evacuated from overseas and I came back home. I wasn't prepared for any kind of downfall. I wasn't prepared, and that's not the situation. Yeah, there was a lot of things. There were a lot of people, a lot of bad people, and all that. But I have to take responsibility. I have to accept my role in the situation. That first of all, nobody else is going to take responsibility, even if they are wrong. Then nobody else is going to take acceptance of the situation other than me. Second thing is I wasn't prepared. I squandered a lot of money, and I wasn't prepared. I could have taken the department to court. I could have sued them if I had an attorney, if I had somebody in my corner. And I did. I did have a union attorney, but that union attorney was, that was the best representation that, for being a union attorney, she did a fantastic job. But I probably could have won and saved myself a whole lot of aggravation if I could have afforded an attorney. And that's a big lesson. That's a big lesson on me. It's like, I acted very foolishly with my finances, and I put myself in a situation where I just wasn't prepared for, those circumstances. So I accept that, that I was wrong. I could have been more resilient. I could have, I could have been a stronger person. I could have been more financially prepared. I could have made other people, made other allies and all that to help me out, and I did not. So I have to take full responsibility for that. And that's the first part of letting go, is to say, look, I am responsible, right? It's not anybody else's fault. It might be somebody else's fault. I take that back. It might be somebody else's fault, but it's 100% my responsibility. So accepting the situation. These things did occur. I am where I am supposed to be because of the actions of my past. And in order for me to have a different future and to have a better future, it's what I do in the present that counts. So that's that first pillar of letting go, is acceptance. The second pillar of letting go is forgiveness. And it's not just seeking forgiveness, although that can be part of it, but being able to forgive other people for what they've done and letting things go and letting them say, okay, I'm not going to hold this against these other people, even though they're wrong. I'm going to just say, I'm going to move on, because it's not productive. Forgiveness is not for the benefit of the other person. It's for yourself, right? So it's you forgiving other people, and it's you forgiving yourself. Can you forgive yourself? You just like, hey, I dropped out of high school, and I went back and finished later on, but I didn't have a lot of the the senior prom and a lot of different things. Could have been totally different. And I sometimes I like, oh wow, I really screwed up. But I forgive myself. This was a situation that I'm willing. It's like, okay, well, there's plenty of good things that have happened, and I don't need to dwell on the things that I didn't do right. And the conversations that I have with myself and the self-talk, I need to be able to forgive myself, and I need to be able to forgive others, and I need to be able to, if I can't ask somebody for forgiveness, if it's not practical, then I can ask God, I can ask the higher power, I can ask the universe. I can just put that thought in there that, hey, I'm humbled enough to, not always have to be right? Because again, what Jeffrey Combs says is that you can be right or you can be rich, but you can't be both, right? So if it's more important for you to be right, then you will sacrifice being rich. Where people who are rich, they don't need to be right. It's like, I don't need to get into an argument with the guy on the bus, or I don't need to get into an argument over That's not to say that you can't stand up for yourself and stick up for yourself, but once it's over, and it's time to forgive the situation. Forgive the guy who cut you off in traffic. You can let it ruin your whole day, but you're just it's not good. It's not. It just sets the tone for the rest of the day, and then it's a self-defeating and self-destructive to hold on to those things. So forgiveness is one of the pillars of letting go. And then finally, gratitude. What you appreciate is to lift up. So, if you can appreciate things, you appreciate all the advantages that you have. You appreciate that you are healthy if you're healthy. And if you have a job, no matter how bad that job is, at least you have a job. If you have a family that loves you, appreciate that. Be grateful for that. Be grateful that you live in a free country. It's not perfect. There's a lot of things wrong with our country right now. Very distressing news coming out today. A lot of political persecutions and a lot of corruption going on. But we still live in a country where there's, people are by the millions want to come here. And, we have good roads. I mean, there are places that are better, and there are situations that could be better. But to be grateful is to invite more of those things that you appreciate into your life. And gratitude is like a currency. It's like you have an unlimited amount of this currency within you, and just expressing the gratitude and being grateful. And when you interact with other people, a lot of people feel like it's like if somebody would just appreciate what they do. Just say, hey, thank you for taking care of that. Thank you for bagging my groceries. Thank you for stocking the shelves. You said, well, maybe it's their job. Maybe you're paying them to do it. Maybe all these different things. It doesn't matter. Gratitude is that you have an unlimited supply of this currency, and the more it's like if you could write a check and cash it. For any amount, you can just write down whatever amount that is. Well, that's like gratitude. Gratitude is like a currency. And yeah, sometimes it's not a one-for-one exchange. Like you can't go to a grocery store and take a bar of gold and buy a loaf of bread with a bar of gold, because the checkout clerk is not going to know what to do with it. But the bar of gold has value, and when you're grateful, people want to do more. When people see that you're grateful for the little things, the universe will reward you. Maybe that one person will not even acknowledge your gratitude, but people will be more inclined to do more. I just want people have a need to be recognized, a need to be appreciated, a need that somebody thinks of them and appreciates their sacrifices that they make. And why would you withhold it if all it is just being grateful? So those are the three together with acceptance, forgiveness, and gratitude. When all three are done, then you can let go. You can just the things your past and the things that hold you back, you can begin to let go. You can take your hands off of the wheel. You can, stop being in that state of anxiety, fear, and doubt, and work to improve yourself and become incrementally better every single day. Just try to be a little bit better than what you were before. Make it a commitment, because tomorrow is really yesterday. So anyway, rambled on long enough. Thanks very much for listening. Let me know your comments and thoughts, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Thank you.